This is a sports catastrophe production. Hey there, Jeff Cardone, and welcome you to another sports catastrophe birthday boy. Actually, no, it's not a birthday boy, it's a birthday girl. Now, you may not know this middle distance runner, and you may not know why I'm even doing one on her, but basically, she was a icon, and she took part in one of the most controversial Olympic moments in history. This is Sola Budd, a middle distance runner from South Africa. Now, the problem with her athletics career, well, she is 55 years old and born in South Africa. Basically, South Africa had the apartheid problem, and basically, we're not really allowed to be in the Olympics. So basically, as she was one of the best Olympic runners, she couldn't do so because of South Africa's apartheid thing. She would compete in the 1984 Olympic Games for Great Britain and 92 for South Africa in the 3,000 meters. She was the 5,000 meter world record holder for a while. She won the World Cross Country Championships a couple of times. And she basically raced barefoot, which was unusual. I know that it's not a baby Bakila like status because, he did that in 1960, even though Rome has cobblestone streets. She actually moved with her family from South Africa to South Carolina in 2008 and actually competes in things. So, Sola Budd was achieved fame in 1984, breaking the 5,000 meter world record. However, because this was in South Africa and they were excluded from athletics competition because of their apartheid policy, apartheid. How do you say it? The IAAF said that they couldn't give her a world record. She got it when she was representing Great Britain. So anyway, the Daily Mail actually said that to Bud's father to apply for British citizenship because, her grandfather was British and she could represent Great Britain in events. Well, basically to circumvent the sporting boycott of South Africa. And her citizenship was granted in short order and she moved to Guildford. But of course, her rival was controversial because she got a passport under preferential circumstances, preferential treatment. Groups supporting the abolition of apartheid things basically were upset and all that because other applicants had to wait years to be granted citizenship. Sola Budd basically had a lot of controversy and all that, and a lot of people didn't think she could do it and all that. But she got to be part of the 1984 Olympic 3,000 meters in Los Angeles. It was supposed to be a duel between Budd and world champion Mary Decker. So basically, Decker set a fast pace and all that. So basically, there was a problem. At 1,700 meters, Decker came in contact with one of Bud's legs, knocking Bud slightly off balance. But they retained the position. 5 strides on. But Decker again made contact with Bud's left foot, brushing Decker's thigh, causing Bud to lose her balance and sending her into Decker's path. Decker's spiked running shoe came down into Bud's ankle, just above the heel, drawing blood. Videotapes were saying that Bud was visibly in pain, but she kept stride. Decker collided with Bud and was off the track, injuring her hip. Decker could not finish the race. Decker's boyfriend / husband carried her off the track, but basically, ironically, it was a British discus guy, Richard Slaney. Bud looked like she was in the lead, but unfortunately, she faltered and finished 7th. Bud tried to apologize to Decker for what happened, but Decker was upset. The Romanian Marisa Puca won gold. Silver went to England's Wendy Sly, and bronze went to Canada's Lynn Williams. So anyway, the IAAF jury said that she was not responsible for the collision. Decker said, "The reason I fell, some people think she tripped me deliberately. I happen to know this wasn't the case at all. The reason I fell is because I am very inexperienced in running in a pack." So basically, in general, it's the trailing athlete's responsibility to avoid contact with the runner ahead. Basically, the U.S. media sided with Decker and the British press supported Bud, obviously. But Bud would win a couple of World Cross Country Championships for England. Bud had a problem with her leg injury, in 1987. So basically, she tried to run in cross country events. But African nations said that she should not be running because, she competed in South Africa. But the IAAF suspended her, so she went back to South Africa. But she got to represent South Africa in the 92 Summer Olympics, competing in the 3,000 meters. Bud would marry Mike Petrese in South Africa and have 3 children, Lisa, Asel, and Mike. She seemed pretty good and all that. She didn't qualify for the final, which was pretty bad and all that. So she decided to go to the United States after realizing her husband had an affair with a former Miss South Africa. So they went to Myrtle Beach and all that. So she basically is an assistant track athlete, But she did have a massive cultural impact. In South Africa, township taxis are known as Sola Bud for their speed. And a South African singer, Brenda Fassie, had a hit single in the 1980s with her track Sola Bud. But basically, yeah, Sola Bud was a pretty decent person and all that. But in the end, she was a little too controversial for her own good, and South Africa did deserve to get banned from athletic competitions because of the apartheid thing and all that. But basically, she was lost in the translation of the 3,000 meters with Mary Decker. She got vilified, sometimes unfairly, but, she at least tried to run. But she didn't get too far. Yes, me. But anyway, Sola Bud is still an icon. I'm Jeff Diamond. Adieu.